Hey friends, happy Tuesday, 24th of August. Nice to be with you. Today is the feast day of Saint Bartholomew, an apostle and a martyr. The name Bartholomew, Bar-Tolmai, probably a last name, a surname, son of Tolmai. He's associated in the Gospel of John with Nathaniel. So we'll see that our reading today uses a different name for him. Bartholomew is associated with preaching the gospel in Armenia and then in India. He's reported to have been flayed alive, so skinned as a form of punishment, which just sounds absolutely brutal. Here at St. Cyril and Methodius, we actually do have a St. Bartholomew window, so come and check that out sometime. If you're interested, and I may post it in the sidebar as a bit of a link, Bartholomew is depicted in Michelangelo's Last Judgment on the wall of the Sistine Chapel, like showing his skin as a sign of honor, right? The sufferings that he endured for Christ. Some art scholars see in that a self-portrait of Michelangelo, and then others will describe sometimes the artistry of Bartholomew as depicting people who are struggling in their own body, in their own skin. So that's nothing that we have that's biblically associated, but certainly some of the later tradition sees a bit of that flaying of Bartholomew, of some of the challenges and the difficulties of being in the flesh in any particular culture. So St. Bartholomew, be praying for us. I'll give you a reflection on the readings. I invite you to read the readings prayerfully if you haven't yet. There's a link on the side, and then turn off the screen. Spend some time with our God before doom scrolling through the rest of everything else. We are in the last, I don't need to give you details because we have special readings for Bartholomew. We have John's Gospel, we have the book of Revelation. So John's Gospel, again, we have the name Nathaniel. Jesus gives an ambiguous, odd comment. Enigmatic would be the word. This is a true son of Israel. In him there is no duplicity. So as I pray into that, what I think of is, Jesus who speaks of being single-minded for the kingdom of God, loving God above all other things. That idea of integrity, that our actions and our values and our beliefs would all of them line up and mesh, and we would, be one. And I don't know about you, but that's a glorious ideal. But oftentimes I find myself drawn in so many different directions. Drawn even in my ministry, my service to God, in so many different ways that I might be called to. So I find myself just resting in that place of challenge with, many different calls, but also the overarching call of God. True child of Israel in whom there is no duplicity. The first reading is from the book of Revelation. John the seer, seeing the new heaven and the new earth and the heavenly Jerusalem coming down. And this is properly ordered, square city. I don't love the image literally of the city. That's that country mouse that doesn't always love city images. But the idea of the bride of Christ, the family of God, living in right relationship and in harmony, and all things being in their proper place. There are walls because God is protecting the people, and the entire city is founded on the foundation of the apostles. And so that's a bit of that image. And that's obviously why this reading is being used today on this feast of Bartholomew. We remember Jesus who talks about founding our lives on the rock that is him as opposed to the shifting sands of the world. We remember Jesus who speaks of Peter, right? You are Peter, upon this rock I will build this church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. And John who sees the heavenly Jerusalem come down, built upon the foundation of the apostles. I don't know about you, but it's easy to be anxious in the midst of all of the uncertainty of this world. I hear, as I'm kind of stringing together some of these readings, but also this passage from Revelation, just that assurance from our God that in the midst of the chaos and the tumult of this life, that there is that rock foundation. Perhaps we would simply turn off the screen and pray in that place of comfort and rest, especially maybe if that's a hard place for us to get to just find it here and now in our God. Even though the rest of the day may not feel like anything is firmly planted or founded, to just start right here, right now, trusting indeed that, that it's on that rock foundation of God and that God is caring for it. All right, friends, happy Tuesday, happy feast of St. Bartholomew. May St. Bartholomew pray for all of us. Let's be praying for each other. Let's be praying for those who struggle and suffer. Perhaps particularly, let's be praying for those involved in education. Maybe on this feast of Bartholomew, we might pray for those who struggle in their own bodies and in their own skin. God bless y'all.